Good evening and salutations, my Jade fans. I've been watching this show for since high school, and so it's so wild to me to watch Sonny treat Michael this way, right? Granted, it's not like it's out of pocket because what Michael did in Sonny's eyes is a betrayal, on top of the fact that he was going to send him to jail at one point in time. But with that being said, it's still wild to me because with Michael, he's the golden child. He's the favorite. Let's just be real. And when he comes over there to talk about Jason, to ask for his help, to try to tell Sonny about Jason's intentions, he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't even want him to be there. He's like, say what you have to say and get out. And, he just unloads on him about his betrayal, the Dex thing, the Nina thing, the SEC thing, and everything like that. Ava comes in a couple of times, like, hey, listen, your father said you should leave, so you should leave. I feel like she's just not helping the situation. Like, it's already bad enough. And then there's a point when, Michael's like, do you honestly think that Jason really shot, Dante? And he was like, well, maybe it might have been by accident. You could have turned around, not really noticed him. I'm like, Ava, you're not. you really not helping the situation. And I don't know what is her end game, you know? Because after he pretty much kind of throws Michael out, he starts drinking and stuff like that. And, Ava's there as a sounding board, just sit there and kind of listen and just whatever, bounce off ideas, which again isn't helping, but whatever. And she seems like she's there, like she wants to comfort him and everything like that. And, they about to sit there and share a kiss, and Sonny kind of just pushes stops to it, put a stop to it and everything like that. But I'm like, what are you doing? There's one point, and I knew, that's why I was like, I'm glad I actually took notes. There's one point where, Sonny's talking about, oh, I don't recognize him, and he's not who he used to be. And they was like, well, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not who he used to be since the whole Nixon Falls thing. I mean, him and Carly did get together kind of quick. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, honestly, tell you the truth, you should be snitching trying to help this man mend fences with his family, not come out with out of pocket theories like, well, I mean, I don't really know the guy anymore. I mean, like I say, he did sit and try to move in on your wife pretty quick, right? I mean, it's crazy, and you're just like, what are you doing? Now she seems like she's about to practically, have loving in the afternoon with this man. I guess that whole friendship with Nina is definitely gonna be tested. Now Curtis is, in the gym or whatever working out, and Laura comes in. They talk about Sonny and Jason. And, Curtis is still riding off of what Miss Wilson that they're saying when he tells Laura, maybe Sonny ordered Jason to take me out. He doesn't sit there and say where he got this idea because Laura's like, did you come up with this idea? Or did somebody else come up with this idea? But the problem is with Curtis is that he seems like he's believing this, but it's not based off of anything. Like, in all reality, Sonny has never really treated him sideways. Not really. I mean, there was a point where he was off his meds and stuff like that, but besides that time, he's always been pretty decent to him. So why would he just randomly decide to take you out? What does he gain from that? So I don't really get that. Now Gregory's condition is getting a lot worse, and Gregory is getting a little kind of defensive. He doesn't want to be treated like an invalid, but at the same time, he understands that when you love somebody, you want to kind of swoop in and save them. So there's really at this point nothing he can do. So he wound up going home from the hospital, and Finn is like, you need to, probably move up the timeline. Brooklyn's like, we can do that as long as we downsize. Which, in our reality, let's just be very clear about this. While soaps haven't actually had the same budget that they used to have. I remember on Days of Our Lives, the late John Aniston was there saying at one point we actually went to, I think, Greek or Rome to do a wedding. And, he left, or he was like, well, these days we don't really have the budget. So when there's something to talk about downsizing, and I looked at that dress and was like, yeah, y'all pretty much are downsizing. Let's just be clear about that. For rich people, that wedding dress was basic. So Jason winds up telling Anna everything. The RICO violations and why he's doing it. Now, what I'm confused about is it RICO violations? Like, is he protecting Sonny? Is it his own RICO violations? That's what he didn't really make clear. But he does sit there and say that, John was like, if you work undercover as an informant for Pikeman, then, we'll take care of you. He also tells Anna that he didn't shoot Dante, and Anna believes him. He finds out about Britt, and, he's upset about that. And now he's worried that if Dante, dies, that whole 2 years is going to be for nothing, and it's just going to be a wrap. And he's going to go to jail for killing a cop. So, yeah, you better hope that Dante wakes up pretty soon. Now, the last scene is with John and Carly. Carly find out that Jason tucked himself in by Diane, and she wants to get down there to see how he's doing. And John's like, he can't really see any visitors, so there's really no point of you being down there. They get to talking about about John's history with Jason Quartermain. The one thing that Carly did say made a lot of sense, and it still make me wonder how did John was even assigned to this case, because Carly's like, this is pretty much a conflict of interest. Like, you knew him from back in the day. Yeah, we're both in the day trying to go out with Karen. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have history. So, why are you even assigned to this case? I don't get that. I mean, even with Anna being assigned to the case, Molly being assigned to the case, all this stuff is just, conflict of interest, but we're just like, hey, it's a soap opera, so we're just gonna let a lot of stuff go, like, common sense and things that would normally not work. Other than that, that conversation didn't really go anywhere, I would say. I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. I think my only question is he trying to protect himself, or is he trying to protect somebody else with these RICO violations? Because I don't remember him actually clearly saying the RICO violations was his. He did, and I could be wrong. I might have misheard it. He said that it wasn't Sonny's, but again, I could be wrong about that. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Tomorrow, there's a heads up, and if I remember, most likely I think Sam is actually gonna want to get him to smoke tomorrow. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, because she's been out of pocket. Um, Jake's been out of pocket. I see, Jake and Danny throwing hands, so that's gonna be interesting. I still don't understand where this new empathy is coming from with Laura. You know, I'm concerned for her and stuff like that. And again, Heather was the one that literally sat there and killed Britt, and yet Laura Smith is talking about sympathy for Heather. Like, then again, this is the same woman who has sympathy for Esme, and now she's sitting there crying about her grandson. So I just I don't get her. I really don't. But I feel like with new writers, they're just making a lot of people out of pocket. That's all I can think of right now. But if I did miss anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows. General Hospital, Days of My Lives, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless. With that being said, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in the next video.